Well, hello. I think we're live here. Let me just double check. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Rochetti, the Last Honest Blogger. How are you? I wanted to do something special for you, for my friends, for my subscribers. A friend of mine, actually, her name is Marie Ireland. She's with me. Hi, Marie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, thanks. I'm good. I'm good. I'm so happy that you decided to share your information. I was really excited about this because, even though, I'm actually, my wife is always telling me how cluttered I am. So when you said you were doing this Reiki decluttering project, I thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to kind of like pick your brain to see some of the things that you share, and I wanted to share it with my wife, and maybe some other people that are watching this in the future can get some value what you're about to share. So basically, I want to introduce Marie Ireland. She has wrote an amazing book called The Reclaim Your Subconscious Mind. She has a video project called The Secret Give about universal laws and the vibration energies of the ether, and how you can utilize this knowledge to better your life, better your surroundings, your friendships, your relationships. And so, Marie, thank you for coming out. I appreciate
Oh,
that.
thank you.
I want to give my audience and your audience something of value tonight. Um, so tell me a little bit about your project, Decluttering, the 4-day project.
Okay, so as you know, you just mentioned about energy and how we operate through our day, and if we're in a muddle, of course, that's going to affect our whole day. So my one of my passions is to when I see women struggling, especially women that have families and they're trying to work at home from home. They usually get in a muddle very easy because they've got a whole lot of different things happening, and their office can end up being quite a shamble if they haven't got it organised. It's because usually they've got a whole lot of other people that are doing cooking and all sorts of things. So it's really important that their office becomes a healing place for them. Even if that might sound a bit funny, but I don't see it like that. I see it should be a healing place because they're spending most of their time in there when their family's gone for the day, they're in there. So they want to feel, in a place that's all clear and clean and clarity. So my mission is to help them do that. And it's so important to have basic things in there like a salt lamp, and everything on their desk must have a purpose. If it doesn't, it shouldn't be there. So that's the first thing, to get rid of clutter and to have a good filing system and no old papers and stuff around. So everything's basically gone right back to being simplified, and strip it all down and then start again, but the
Oh,
easiest way
nice.
possible. So pretty much
Okay,
it
go
can be
ahead.
really done in 2 days, but the 4 days, the day one is the mindset and preparation, and the fourth day is just finishing those last little boxes. So it's a quick process. Yeah.
Very nice. That sounds amazing. So you
Yeah.
mentioned this salt lamp, and it's funny you say that because I actually have one of those, and I use that because it actually generates negative ions. And when one goes to the beach, do you have oceans by you? Yes, right?
Not right here, but I could get there.
Okay, so the reason why we feel so good, especially when our feet are in the ocean and we're on that beach, we're feeling
Mm.
the cool breeze of the wind, right? We feel so good, and like we're in a good mood. And the reason that is because of the negative ions. I mean, when you have negative ions in the air, it actually makes you feel good. It actually rejuvenates your cells, your body, everything. And that's funny that you say that. Why the salt lamp on the desk? Is it
Well, a salt lamp should be throughout the whole home, but I have one right next to my computer, and it's because of the radiation for a start.
Very
If
nice.
you know, like if people want to research it, they'll find a lot of great things about salt lamps. When they do go and buy them, they need to make sure they are from the legitimate source, because there are some artificial ones out there that do nothing. Yeah, they're made of rock
Right.
salt, and they're not the real McCoy. So it's really important to get you know where you're getting it from.
Sure.
I buy mine usually at crystal shops because they're usually the real deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really important. I find it's good.
And the way you know it's working is you're actually feeling like you're in the zone. You feel good, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you
and
start
a
to
lot of
feel the
people,
difference.
yeah, a lot of people I find that have them in their room turn theirs off, where I never turn mine off. If I want to dull the light, I just put a little black cotton bag over it, and it's still working, but it's not so bright, you know. So
Okay,
it's a good little tip. Mm,
that's excellent. So you
yeah,
also mentioned clutter. Now,
yeah.
what's the clutter? I mean, is it? I mean, what's your
Well, yeah, clutter to me is a lot of old energies too. So this is not getting a bit airy-fairy here. It's just more simply, you know, people can have a lot of, in their office, they can have a lot of photos, for example, and there's too much stuff going on. You know, all those, like I always say to my clients that like you can just have like one picture there that's meaningful to you. It can be a whole family, or, you know, you can have a couple on that, but just not, it's not a photo album bench, you know, it's your office. So just have one or two, and that's your inspiration why you're doing what you're doing. You know, you've got a photo, that's my family there, you know, that's my dog or whatever, and that's why you're doing what you're doing, you know. And then I also have a what do you call it, a diffuser, oil diffuser, and that's really
wow?
good for your mind, you know. So you've got to put pure essential oils in there, not fake oils. You've got to, everything you do has got to be of high value, you know, when you're using oils. So, and that's really good to keep yourself, you know, your good mind clarity. And I also have a couple of pretty things around, but just one or two, and that's it. And that's just your feminine space. This is for women, but it's this feminine space. For males, you can have your male things, but not too many, you know. People end up cluttering up so much the area that they just, it's too much, yeah.
I'm
And
the
then when you go
king
and
of
clean it, like every week you should be cleaning it, you're like, oh, I can't be bothered, I've got to move all that stuff. So there's
yeah.
just a whole lot there. Yeah,
I'm the king of clutter. That's for sure. My wife is always on me about you know, I have stuff everywhere, and you know what it is. I get tired,
yeah.
and I think that's important. The next question, what would you say to you know, your clients that how to stay focused, how to stay on track, how to put them in a good moods, and also the oils. What is that? Frankincense? Are you talking about frankincense by any chance?
Very, very good oil. Very, very good. Yes, I would use that, definitely that one. Peppermint oil is good for clarity. You don't want to be using something that's going to make you tired. Like lavenders can make you sleepy, so you don't want to be, you know, using that oil. But a lot of mine oils, and that's something that you can research more. But my flatmates here, they're into the oil business. They have that business for themselves, so I can find out a bit more about that. But I use a lot of peppermint oil. I find that's just, yeah, it's, you know, everyone's different, but I just find that really good. Now, for starting in the morning, like the first thing is to start your is to reset your whole environment. So this is why I'm doing the declutter challenge, so people can you know, just start again. You know, get rid of all that stuff. And how I work it is, day one is setting out boxes where they're just dumping their stuff into the boxes, into the categorized boxes. So it's not just dumping it, it's actually putting them in the right box, and you're not filing or anything to begin with, you're just putting them in the right box. Then the day two will be sorting out just that one box, and that's so you can get back into work and be all clear and feel like you're getting on top of it. Because the worst thing is when people try and declutter, they feel in more of a mess than they started with, and they wish they never started it. So it's doing it in a really organised manner, and that's how you can get through it real quickly if it's organised. So my 4-day process is very structured.
Very cool. Very cool. Oh,
if everyone follows it, then they'll do well.
Hold on.
So yeah, so it's simply that.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, hold on. I lost my feed. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Oh dear. Oh, there we are. Okay. So this is what I want to bring. I want to start bringing the world some information. Okay, I want to start bringing people together. Because I grew up in the urban city. Okay, and my surroundings weren't always what's the word I'm looking for? Weren't always the best situations to be in. I like loud music. I like screaming real loud. And it's this very vibration, this very energy that numbs us to the fact of all the beautiful things that are going on in the world. Universal law. I had no idea about universal law until I was, 30 years old. I actually went into a depression myself because I realized I didn't understand life. I always blamed everybody else for my, things that went wrong. And I didn't see, you don't know what you don't know. Okay. And for me personally, I had no idea all the things, all the possibilities that I had no idea about the imagination, Reiki, decluttering, energy, atoms, all of this good stuff. So we're on the news, we see the news, we see all of this programmed information to basically put the people in the flight or fight mode, right? And then right after they show you like something drastic, they put a product on TV right after that, because the psychologists know they know if they can scare the crap out of you, you're likely to buy the next product. So I had no idea about this stuff. And I want to start, I don't know if you know this, I opened up a new blog called The Last Honest Blogger. And I'm going to start bringing people together to share ideas, to share their value, and start brightening the world a little bit more, to start sharing some ideas. And that brings me to, I want to talk a little bit about the subconscious mind. And there's no better person to ask questions than you, Marie. So can you tell me about Reclaim Your Subconscious Mind and your book that you wrote? Can you share a little bit?
Yeah, sure. And when I was writing my book, I had gone through a lot in my life and challenged a lot and pretty much the way you have been saying, But as a child, I used to always think, I had something happen to me. I'll just go back a little bit, because I had something happen to me on an operating table, and I sort of had a near-death experience because I could see the whole thing happening. And then what happened, and over these years, I've learned what's happened to me, but didn't know at that time, of course. But what happened is, I do remember this happening. My soul was coming straight back into my body, and I woke up on the operating table. So it was like a bolt to my body, and I woke up, on the operating table. So I know that what happened in that moment must have been quite significant to how the rest of my life was going to pan out. And from there, I started becoming more very opinionated and seeing people like, why are they doing that? And I had some sort of thinking going on, two different thinking going on, my human self and my higher consciousness self. And you know what children are like, they're more into that realm, they're more, so I had it even more so. Well, that's what I thought, you know. I thought, why can people not see? And then as I grew up, I sort of got conditioned with like everybody else, just with life. So I let all that go, and my life just became like everybody else in a rut. And long story short, I went through a lot of stuff, and I was very close to dying again. I had a stroke and an aneurysm, and I had a healer healed me through a leaf, and he pulled out a blood clot from my head, and this came out through the cells of my skin and onto a leaf, and I saw it with my own eyes, and he saved my life. Now, there's the power of energy. There's the power of somebody that's working with energy and pulling stuff out of people's bodies, you know. And I already believed in that sort of thing. That's why I was put in this position. And then after that, I moved to Australia years ago, and I started writing all my stuff down. And my brother said to me, "Oh, it looks like you're writing a book." And I said, no, I'm not writing a book, just writing all my stuff down because I've gone through so much I need to heal. And I said, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I should turn it into a book. And that's how it happened. So I was writing about my experiences and what I'd learned, all about my mind, my emotions, just for myself, you know, writing it down. I thought, I'm going to turn this into a book. And then I started doing a workbook with it. So I did my book and gave a 40-page free workbook with it. And it's all about how to change a subconscious mind is through the emotional body. So, you know, if somebody has a car accident, I know this might sound a bit dramatic, but they have a car accident, everything, their emotions are going to be quite high, you know, very high, intensely. Right. There, it affects their subconscious, and that's why they have bad dreams, and it can affect them for years because they've locked it in through their emotional body, and it's gone into their subconscious. And to undo that, you have to do it through powerful, positive, emotional, you know, states to get rid of it. And that's how we can do anything. It's not easy because we always go back into those human victim consciousness, and that's the way that we've subconsciously set ourselves up. So yeah, so I'm, for myself personally, I'm always still working through things, and it's always going to be like that because I'm always growing. And the more I grow, the more I get out of my comfort zone. I'm always going to hit that terrier barrier, they call it, whereas I'll have to go, okay, now I've got these emotions coming up, I have to do the opposite than what's going on and work through that.
Yeah, it's experiences, you know, experiences that really bring emotion. For me, I was always a person that, you know, would just keep doing repeatedly the same thing over and over. And I was like, okay, if I keep doing the same thing over and over, I'll break free. I'll get this, you know, this method of whatever I'm doing. And as it turns out, it's actually to fix the emotion, you need to have experiences to create the emotion. Thoughts create emotion, opens different dimensions of thought. Certain energies that are attached to that thought actually open up different dimensions in the brain and open up and goes inward to infinite possibilities. I actually see this now like so vivid. It's not even funny. And I'm always, sometimes I find myself falling into a rut. And I got to pull myself out of it through having a different experience, or basically a new thought pattern, new piece of information, stuff like that, you know. So it's funny because the secret give, I want to talk to you about the video you created, and you can go to the lasthonestblogger.com, excuse me, and you can find the secret give on Marie Ireland's bio. And I suggest you go there now and check that out. The reason why I want to speak to you about this is because my brother, Frankie, actually has a really good idea. And he wants to talk to me about it. But it actually it correlates with what you're trying to do. And I think your knowledge with universal laws and his knowledge with being, brainstorming with ideas, and my knowledge, bringing people together, blogging, using my internet skills and SEO, and to bring people in a wider audience into one circle. I think we can all benefit from this. So can you share a little bit about the secret give and what you're trying to accomplish with that?
Yeah. Now with the secret give, of course, it's all about giving and gratitude. So it's helping people. There's a lot of givers in the world, and there's a lot of amazing things that happen in the world. This definitely doesn't take anything away from what people already give. And I've had some comments that, oh, but people already give, Marie. Why are you trying to, I can see why they're saying that because of where they're at. So it's interesting that those sort of people say that to me, but then I see people that are, oh my God, this is amazing, and it's just going to really help and create a ripple effect through the world. And like, that's what I see, So it's all about practicing anonymous giving yourself and giving unconditionally. And why I say unconditionally is because it's another level from what you probably already do. It's just another level going further. If you can't give unconditionally, like give it out, if you can't give anonymously, then you're not giving unconditionally. So you should be able to go and just send out a $20 voucher to somebody that you don't know, and and they don't know you, and just be able to freely give that away. If you go, oh, I don't want to give $20 to somebody I don't know, that's not unconditionally. So it's a powerful building of your character to be able to do that. But that's not the ultimate here. The ultimate is the person that you're impacting on the other end. So when someone receives a anonymous voucher in the mail, how would you feel if you received that? Wow, somebody cares about me. And what if somebody's going through a real hard time, and it's just happened to be that they receive that, and it's like, wow, and how's it going to change their life? Well, they'll go to the secret give because they want to know all about it. They'll start looking at, oh my God, I'm doing that in my life. I need to start being more grateful, and oh my God, I'm going to do this, and it might really impact them, and then they do it. So it becomes a ripple effect, if you can imagine that.
Sure.
And the whole reason I would give a $20 voucher out to someone is just nothing to do with me, is just to solely impact their life, because that's what I would love to see in the world, is everybody giving and impacting other people's lives. So it's not about what you're going to get back from the universe. The universe does repay, but you're not even doing it for that reason, because you're totally giving for the right reasons and impacting someone else's life. And that's my ultimate mission for it. So yes, it's building your character, giving, but it's really, the whole point is giving is impacting other lives. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does. And it's not just money you can give. I mean, I just want people to understand that, we're not the victims here. We don't have to play poor me. And, God gave us imagination, and imagination goes inward to infinity. I mean, imagination is the gift. The problem people have, including myself, is we don't practice the imagination gifts too often because we're always distracted. We got too much clutter, right, Marie? We have too much things going on in our lives. We have to pay bills. The cell phone bill is due, the electricity, the car payments, the mortgage, the rent, kids, football, soccer. I mean, it goes on and on. When does a person have time to go inward and reflect and really, share their gifts? Because it's when I found, sun gazing, to be honest with you. I've been sun gazing. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I have. Apparently it's incredible.
Oh, yeah. Vitamin D, vitamin D3.
You've been sun gazing. How are your eyes? They're looking a little bit red.
Yeah, they are, because I got lotion in them.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually did sun gazing today, as a matter of fact.
Oh, wow.
But I think that's the lotion, actually. And
yeah.
it's the lighting down here as well. So
yeah.
But in any event,
so there's a certain process to doing that sun gazing.
in the morning and at night.
Well, yeah.
Sunrise and sunset, and
a little bit every day.
Yeah, every day. If you can do it for, let's say, 30 days straight, you'll start to see an amazing difference, definitely.
Yeah. See, I haven't tried that yet. No.
No?
No.
Yeah, try it. Also, earthing, walking barefoot on the earth. That's another great
Yes.
technique that I'm going to share in the future. So back to the decluttering challenge. Really quick before we get out of here. I don't want to hold you up. I know it's late over there in Australia, right?
It's
So
early here, but late for you, I think.
no, it's
It's early.
actually 6:30 here p.m.
Yeah.
But all right.
Yeah.
So what does a typical day look like for the declutter challenge? Like, what is it when everything's all said and done? The challenge is over. What does a typical day one of your clients go through? Like, is there a strategy? Just what is it?
If I'm working one-on-one with them, or do you mean on the online on the online challenge? What,
Basically, when a challenge is finished and you've completed everything, what's a
oh, yeah.
typical day look like for the
Oh, okay.
client?
Sorry, I get what you're saying. Well, they'll start their day, well, the night before. So before they go to bed, they've done their list and they've put like a crystal on it, their favorite crystal. And this is all about allowing the universe to work on their list. So I'm a big believer in doing that, your list the night before, and it works. And when you get up in the morning, you know exactly what you're doing. You're not trying to work out your day or your list. You've already got it planned. So you get up in the morning and you do your exercise or whatever yoga or meditation. All of that's good. So you can fit it all in. But
Yeah, my
so,
wife
and
does
then you
yoga.
start your day decluttered. You haven't got a mess to clean up. So a mother, of course, would be going to, feed her children and her family or do her housework. She'll come into her office and it's already set and ready to go. And she knows where everything is, so it's all accessible to her. She doesn't be getting up and down all the time. She's got everything in place. All the current documents are right there, and her folders are, in her filing cabinet. And anything that's old energy, years old, are usually archived out of the office in a storage room or where else they can put it.
Excellent.
So yeah, it's all
So,
clear.
so what like say 30 to 60 days in after the challenge, what are some of the things your clients are noticing? 30
They would
days in.
feel, yeah, a big shift. Like I have a client that's I had a recent client, and she did actually testimonial for me, and she said the change in her office and her energy and everything has just changed just because of that. Her husband doesn't even like going to office because the energy of it is so different to the rest of the house.
Wow.
So I'd love to help her with the rest of the house, but do you see the comparison? He doesn't even want to go into office because it feels so different. And
Smoggy,
that's a
right?
place for her clarity and clarity because she's got a good energy flow in there. She's got a salt lamp, and she also has this is a little thing, but she also has a tea light. And when I said to you must have your tea light there, and why I would like you to have it on the desk is because of these reasons. If you're ever stressed or you're ever feeling like a bit, oh, I need to just chill out, light your tea light. It's right there in front of you, and it puts a whole different ambience in the room. And it's like a meditative state for you to get into when you see that burning candle there. It's quite calming. So if you're ever stressed, and you can try it yourself and see how you feel, but I always find that amazing.
The farthest I go with scents is probably frankincense. My wife's
Yes,
into the oils. I'm not so much into that, but
yeah,
Marie, I really appreciate you taking the time out, and I think I have one more question
yeah.
for you, my dear. Let's see here. Okay, what are the biggest challenges? One more question. Okay, what are the biggest challenges your clients face, or objections, basically? What are the biggest objections that possibly a client will face, and once they face that objection, and how they feel afterwards? What are the biggest challenges, basically?
Okay, they could feel overwhelmed to even begin, and some may not even want to do the challenge because it's like, oh no, that's just so much. I've got so much crap everywhere, and No, I can't do it. Well, that's why I do it in an organized state, so they're dealing with their stuff in that way, so they're not feeling overwhelmed. And that's the whole way I do the categorized boxes. And it's not sorting out while you're putting them in the boxes, it's just categorizing them in the right boxes. So you're not sorting out your filing while it's all going in the filing box, you're just putting them in there, you know. So it's very easy to just clear everything out, put them in the boxes, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh wow, everything's just clear. And then I had a client, for example, yeah, she felt amazing. She said, oh, it's all clear. And then she looked around and she saw all the boxes. And I said, don't worry about the boxes, because this is where we're going. We're going to be one thing at a time. So she was feeling overwhelmed. We did a whole thing in one day, but she was feeling overwhelmed through that. So I had to keep nurturing her and, you know, getting her mind into the right space. So I'm doing the 4-day challenge online to help people work at a slower, bit slower. So day 1, pretty much day 2, they can have their, they can still be working through this. They don't need to be, you know, all over the place, right? So that's so that's it.
Awesome. All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it from Marie Ireland herself. And you can check out her website and take your free 4-day challenge, Declutter Challenge, at lasthonestblogger.com. And she's right at the top of the list. Just click on it and sign up for your free challenge. Marie, I want to thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Chris. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. And keep doing the amazing work. I'm always, rooting for you, and I'm always watching and reading the stuff that you post, and I think it's great, and I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, and likewise. I love all your amazing scientist things, and you're pretty amazing with all that. It's incredible, really.
Yeah, we're definitely coming into an amazing space, definitely. So always learning, always growing, and just looking to inspire the world and bring good information to you. So I will see you all next time, Marie. I appreciate you. Okay. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Chris. Bye.
Bye.